Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, let us see how to create our own AI. So before creating our own AI, we need to know why we are creating, what is our need. So that thing we need to know. So basically, we use AIs to generate content, to summarize, content, to generate code as well. Even we can analyze sentiment. Sentimental analysis also we can able to do by using that. That is by providing previous inputs, we can able to get the output of next sentence. Let's say I provide first word related to positive, second word related to negative, and even we provide third word, and we can able to identify how the word is either it is a positive or negative, that we can able to identify by using this. So now we will create our own AI, and we even test these all needs are satisfying that AI or not. So since we are learning, so we need to create a GenAI application, that is a generative AI application, in order to fulfill all my needs. Okay. Now let's have a question. Now I want to create this GenAI application fully on AWS. I want to use only AWS cloud to create this whole generative AI application. Now for that, to create this GenAI application from end to end, that is from building to deployment, from building, testing and deployment, I want to do on AWS platform. So for creating this GenAI application, generative AI application, do I have any service? The answer for that is yes. We have a service. That service name is Amazon SageMaker. By using this Amazon SageMaker, we can able to generate AI. This SageMaker will provides me an interactive IDE to build my generative AI application. Let's say I want to build my application. To build that, this AWS Amazon SageMaker will provide me notebooks. Those notebooks acts as IDEs in order to create our code and run our code. By using this Amazon SageMaker service, we can able to build our generative AI application, and we can able to train as well. We can able to train our generative AI application, and after training, we can even test our generative AI application, and we even deploy our AWS, that is GenAI applications in Amazon SageMaker service. By using this service, we can able to do all these things: building, training, testing, deployment of generative AI, GenAI applications. In SageMaker, we can able to do all these things. So let's clearly write that in SageMaker, we can build, train, test and deploy our generative AI applications, right? Yes. Let's say I want to create a GenAI application, but I don't have much time to generate this GenAI application from scratch. Then do I have any reference models which are available in market? That is, there are any pre-trained models available for me in market? The answer for this is yes. There are lot of large language models. We call them as LLMs. So there are a lot of large language models. The name itself specifying that they are large language models. These large language models are pre-trained. These large language models are already pre-trained and available as foundational models. These models are already pre-trained. These models are already pre-trained and available as foundational models in the market. A lot of foundational models, that is pre-trained models, are available. Those we can able to use in order to build our generative AI application easily. We can use those foundational models to generate our AI application easily. So based on our requirement, we will pick the most suitable foundational model, and we can use that model in our generate AI application to fulfill our needs. So that's what we're gonna do in this lab. So in this video, I can even show you the lab on AWS SageMaker, how to create our own generative AI by using already available foundational model to fulfill our needs, that need to fulfill my needs. So like that, we will create a GenAI application in this video. We have known that by using these foundational models, we are creating our generative AI, right? Yes. So we can even fine tune or modify or add or take the knowledge of the content of foundational models and use that in order to generate our generative AI based on our requirements as well. So let's have a question. You told me that these models are pre-trained, right? Yes. So by using how much amount of data they are pre-trained? These models are pre-trained by large collection of data. They are already pre-trained and made as a foundational models. We can use those foundational models directly in our application and we can able to create our generative AI application. Or else, based on our requirement, based on our need, specific need, we can even fine tune these foundational models to make our generative application better suitable for our need as well. Now, to generate our GenAI application, we are using this as SageMaker. In this SageMaker, we are having ability to use these foundational models. There are options to use these foundational models. I'll show you that as well. Now, to generate our AI application, I have already logged into AWS Management Console. You can see, yes, I have already logged into my AWS Management Console. Now, to generate our AI application, I am opening this SageMaker. I hope this might not visible to you at here, so that you need to search from here, that is SageMaker. Since I opened it previously, so that's why it is visible here. So currently I'm searching so that it was visible here. You can see the description, that is we can able to build, train, deploy ML models, machine learning models. Now I'm opening this SageMaker. I also want to explain you about the important options that we're gonna use in this lab. Here you can see under Amazon SageMaker, we have applications and IDs. So here actually you can generate your applications by using IDs. So by using IDs, and applications are managed here. In notebooks, you can able to directly write your code, or else you can create your own domain under admin configurations. You have domain, right? So in this domains, you can see I have already created one domain for me. In order to create one application, one AI application, I have already created one domain. So that's very simple. You just click on a create a domain. It will ask you only two, that is set up a single user or else set up an organization. So since I am a single user, I just clicked here to set up, so that it was set up for me. Now by using that user, by using this domain, actually I gonna show you how to create an AI app from this studio option. From this studio, we gonna create that AI. So in domains, you can see there is an ID as well as some domain name is there, right? Yes. So you can even analyze that domain as well, whatever the domain that we just created. Now I'm just moving back. Yeah. So here you can see foundational models. Under Jump Start, you can see foundational models, foundation models. So these models you can able to use. These are the already available foundation models. Based on your requirement, you can choose one foundation model and you can able to use that in your generative AI application for acquiring or for fulfilling your need. For text generation, you have, for keyword extraction, for information. So like that, we have multiple foundational models are already available for us. So these are the foundational models. We can able to use them for our need. And before moving on to creating our environment, I would like to show you in inference. You can see under endpoints. Currently, there are no endpoints. You can observe this. After creating our actual, after creating and deploying our actual generative AI application, we got an endpoint here in order to trigger, in order to use that application, in order to use that GenAI application, a endpoint is created here. So here an endpoint is created, and under endpoint configurations also endpoint is visible. Now let us create one AI application by using the studio option. Now I just clicked on studio. You can say I just clicked on a studio, which is present under applications and IDEs. Here you can see a default user is already selected. I am just opening my studio notebook. So that's one only there. I've just created that studio for me for this lab to create this GenAI application. Now I just log into this studio. You can see it is loading. Yeah. Now we reach to the different place. Now I'm just skipping the tour since I know already. And here you can see we just entered into our studio. We just entered into our studio. Previously, you have seen, right, under jump start, in SageMaker, you have seen under jump start, you have seen the foundational models, right? Yes. Those are also available in Studio as well. Those are visible for me. You can use them from here as well. You can say I just clicked on jump start. So here also there are multiple models are visible here, right? Yes. So there are multiple models visible to me. Now I want to create an GenAI application. So to create that, we need a editor, right? Yes, we need a editor window. That is nothing but IDE, Integrated Development Environment. I need that IDE. So to create that IDE, I am going to this Studio Classic. Under this Studio Classic, you can see whatever the Studio application that we have, that is visible here. Now I'm just opening this in order to write my own code. So now I just opening this. I'm just clicking on open so that it will open me a Jupyter lab. So directly it redirects me to Jupyter lab, but that will be in AWS only. So currently it is loading. Let's wait for a minute. So here actually we write our code and we edit our code and we build our code, train our code, test our code, deploy our code. Everything we will done under this Jupyter Lab notebook only. So what I'm expecting to use that pre-trained FM model, right? Foundational model. So for that, I have already written some code and stored in S3 bucket that I will import to here. So let's wait. Yeah. So now it is open. Our domain is open now. Just now our domain is open. Now you can see multiple options are there. This is the home. And here, what are the files are there? Those are visible here. And if you want to push or pull or if you want to do Git operations to get the data from Git store, you can use this option. Now I'm just moving on with. So currently you can observe we do not have any folders or files here. Now from here, from file option, you can see foundational models are also visible here under SageMaker Jump Start. Under SageMaker Jump Start, if you click on models, it will open you the models, available models that you can able to use on your code. These are the models available. Now I want to get the data from S3 bucket. I have already created one S3 bucket. There I have stored a Python notebook file. In that Python notebook file, I actually implemented my code. I'll explain you each and every step after importing that code. So to import that code, first I'm opening a terminal. So by using terminal commands, I'll import that. Now I opened a terminal. From file, you can see under new, you can see a terminal option is there that I opened. That will open me this. Now I want to list what are the buckets which are present in S3. So for that, you can write a command that is AWS S3 space ls. It will list you all buckets which are present under S3. Now in this lab code bucket, I actually saved my file. Now I want to get that code to here. So that's why I'm pasting that. So I'm using AWS S3 sync command. By using this sync command, you can able to get the data from this source location. I'm just pasting that. You can see that bucket I have pasted. Now from there to here, so that's why I put dot. I'm just copying that data. I'm clicked on enter. You can see it downloaded. Now I'm just reloading this page. Yeah, you can see we got that file. You can see, yes, So you can even open by double click on it. And whenever you open it for the first time, if you open it, then it will ask you to provide these details, that is image details, as well as kernel details, as well as instance type. Those you need to select. This is ML-T3 medium type. I'm selected and I'm just moving on with the default one. So now you can see we just entered into our notebook. Now I've already created some code for this, but I'll show you from starting onwards. Okay. Now you just click on plus option so that a new cell, we can say this as a cell. So like that, by clicking plus, how many pluses you can click, those many cells will be created next to that cell that you selected. Now in this cell, now I want to install SageMaker. Updates are there, that I want to install it first. So for that I am writing the comment. You can see I have written this command, that is pip install SageMaker quit upgrade force reinstall. So by using this command, it actually reinstalls whatever the updates are there, those will be reinstalled. Now I just ran this command. Currently it is running. So whenever it is running, you can observe that from your kernel. You can see in kernel, it is in currently busy state. Now I just clicked on it. It will show you the instance related CPU details, that is how much CPU is currently using, memory, and Python related details, that is how much CPU used for Python and for that memory. Now you can see it is running. It will take you a bit moment to do this process. So based on the runtime that you selected previously while creating this, while opening this, at the first time of opening it, it shows me, right? Yes, it shows me the details. At that moment of time, you need to select the appropriate details so that it can run fastly based on your specifications. So currently, since I moved with the small instance type, that is T3 medium, it will take me some time. But in production, you may use a best instance type that is working very good, very well, and provide your response faster. You will choose another instance type. Now, since I'm expecting to create an AI application with foundational models, now I want to move on with already available Jumpstart, that is SageMaker Jumpstart model notebooks. You can see we just entered here. So in this, I've already searched previously the version that is well suitable for me, that is Falcon. This Falcon 7B Instruct BF16. This model is highly suitable for me, and this Falcon 7B BF16 is more advanced than that. So that's why I selected this Falcon 7B BF16. Now I'm expecting to copy the deployment configurations. So you can see the endpoint is this. I just copied this. Now I want to use this in order to create my application. Now I'm just opening that tab, that is introduction to GenAI application. So that's for the file name that I provided. Now I opened that, or else you can even open your file directly from here by clicking here, your file that you imported, it will open your file. Now what I want, by using that, I want to create my AI application, right? Yes. Let's say I want to store my model ID in some variable. So there I have pasted this. Here you need to write Hugging Hugging Face, that's the real name of the model. So if you put HF, may it not work. So that's why I written Hugging Face. Now I want to use this model ID. I have defined my model ID, and even model version also I want to define. That is all. So by using a star, you can able to define that. I want to include all versions, so that's why I selected that. Now I provided my model and I also provided my version. So now to execute this, just click on that shell, and here you have an option that is a run shell option. Just click on it so that your shell will be run successfully. Now I want to deploy this model. I want to deploy this model. To deploy this model, we need to get this model right. Yes. So where it was actually in Jumpstart, right? In SageMaker Jumpstart, this model is present. So you need to write the command that is from SageMaker, from SageMaker dot Jumpstart, from SageMaker dot Jumpstart model. By using this command, by using this function, actually you can able to provide your model ID and instance type that you want to use. You can see I just deployed within 3 lines. That is, in this line, I just imported whatever the function that I require. That is a jump start model function that I require. That actually present in SageMaker. In that jump start, in that model, I have this jump start method. Now I just imported that. Now I used that to provide my model ID as the model ID that I have previously defined and instance type that I have already provided. Now, in order to deploy this, in order to deploy my model that I have saved in this my model variable, I used this deploy command. By using this deploy command, I actually deployed this my model. That is, we are deploying this Hugging Face LLM model. By using this Jumpstart model, we just get that model and we deployed by using this command dot deploy command, and we stored the deployment in this predictor. We stored the deployment in this predictor. Now to test that, deployment, now I am running this cell so that this will be deployed. Yeah, there will be some error I am getting. I need to rectify it. Now let's see and analyze the error. You can see we got error that is invalid model ID. This model ID is not there. Not HAGGING. We need to provide the correct name of our model. If we provide the wrong name, then it will show you this type of errors. Now I provided the correct name. Now I'm running this. So to run this, you have this option, or else you just click on Shift Enter. Now I just clicked here so that this will be run. And now I also clicked here so that you can see using this model. Using model is this with a wild character as version, that is star. You can pin this version is selected now, right? Yes. So now I want to test this. We have, you can see we have updated our SageMaker here, and we provided the version as well for foundational model here, and we, by using that jump start model method, we get that model and we deployed that model by using dot deploy method. Now I want to test this. To test this, you can use this predictor. So wherever you deployed, by using that deployment, you actually predict the result. So by using dot predict method, you can able to predict the results. So here you need to provide one thing, that is inputs. You need to provide inputs. That is must and should. You need to provide the inputs. Now I am providing inputs as my question. So what is SageMaker? What is SageMaker? So like this, I provided my question as input prompt. So let's make this as a variable so that it will seems to be good to me. So in prompt variable, I would like to store my prompt. So that's I pasted here. Now I want to run this cell. So whatever the response do I get, I want to store it in response variable. And at last, I want to print that response. So whatever it may be, I want to print that response. I'm just running this. Yeah, it is currently running. You can see that directly from two places. That is from here. You can see two executed 0 by 2 cells. So 2 cells are currently executing, but currently I'm running only one cell, right? So why it is executing 2? I want to stop this process. So that's why I'm interrupting the kernel. So it was stopped. Yeah, I think this was interrupted. So this and this, yeah, 2 cells I'm running. So this cell I want to run. So I just clicked on run so that this cell first runs. After that, so here again I got an error. So what's that? Yeah, resource limit exceeded. That means whatever the instance type that we are using, that limit is exceeded. Okay, now you can see I'm running this. That is, I'm running this deployment. So by just clicking here, I'm just clicking on shift and enter. Now you can see it is running. So it may take you some time to run. So after it got run successfully, I'll just, after it was deployed successfully, this model got deployed successfully, I will try to provide some input. You can see I have run this as well. I have run this as well. What is SageMaker is my question. Now you can see I got some response. That is in the form of a list. I got some response. In this, I want to filter out only the output that I am getting. So for that, I'm writing some slicing. So in this as well, I'm just picking only the generated text. So whatever the text that is generated, so that's what I'm picking. Now I'm just rerunning it. Now you can see I got some response. In addition to learn capabilities, let's rerun it again. Yeah, you can see we got the response. That is, what is our question? What is SageMaker, right? Yes. So that's what the prompt that I have provided in input, and that prompt I have provided as a to predict the output for this prompt. I've provided that prompt as an input to this predictor, where I defined this predictor as a deployment model previously, where that model I have designed from where? From foundational model. You can see, yes. So by using that model, Now we deployed that foundation model here, and now we even got the response here, right? Yes. So let's read this. SageMaker's end-to-end was designed for start to help reduce the amount of time spent to deploy our ML models, ML solution, developing our ML solutions and focusing our more analytics and productivity. SageMaker corporation time. Yeah. So this is the details regarding SageMaker. Now, from this we can say that our model, whatever the model that we deployed, that is working perfectly, right? Yes. Now let's move back and see what are the things that we are expecting to do. We have already deployed, we have already generated an AI applications from foundation model, and we have even tested that. So let's see first one, that is a generate content. We have generated content for this, that is what is SageMaker. Now let's generate content regarding some film actor, that is who is Prabhas. So I'm just running it. So let's see what response do I get. You can see it's a Prabhas has acted in Tamil as well as Telugu cinemas. So it was providing it is providing me the response, right? Yes. So let us so not only this model, you can even use multiple models. I want to even show you another model as well. So that's why I'm moving to SageMaker Jumpstart. You can see on top. So whatever the options that we opened, those are visible on top as well. Or else you can move from here under home screen. You have SageMaker Jumpstart. Under this, you have models notebook solutions. These are pre-trained models already available. Now I want to move on with another model, that is this Falcon 7B Instruct BF16 model. So here for this model, I'm just copying the deployment configurations. So you can see I have this deployment configuration. This is the endpoint to connect to it. Now I'm just pasting this there. In place of this Hugging Face model, I'm just pasting that model name here in order to deploy that. You can see that I've pasted here, and in place of HF, I'm moving on with the Hugging Face. Now I'm just rerunning it so that this will be deployed now. So this will be now run successfully. Now I'm just running this. You can see this was using this model, right? Yes, we are using this model. Let's question the same thing. What is SageMaker? So let's see what response do I got. I'm just running it again. So currently it is running. So let's see how many cells are running. So each and every box, we call it as a cell. If you click on it, then you can see executed 0 out of 2 cells. That means 2 cells are running. So 0 were executed. The first cell is this, that is a deployment, model deployment. Second cell is this. Since we run both, they will run. So first one, this deployment will run. Then after our query will run. So let's wait for few seconds. Now you can see these two are executed, right? Yes. So even we got response for this. Even we rerun this, then we got another response. I'm just rerunning it. So SageMaker is a intelligent ML system. It is used for model building, training, deployment models in cloud, right? Yes. So now we have seen this. We have generated some content based on given content. That is so based on the given prompt. So whatever the input that we given, based on that, we got the response. We generated the content, right? Yes. So even we can write create a story. Create a funny conversation or story. Create a funny conversation between two friends. So I'm just running it again so that it will create me a funny conversation. So within few seconds, it just created me, right? Yes. So you can even increase, the max, that is the number of outputs you got by providing here max count. That is, you can even control how much output you can get. So by using what we can able to control, sir, by using parameters. In this prompt section, after inputs, you can even provide the parameters as well. So we have multiple parameters here. Among them, by utilizing the required parameters, you can even control the output as well. Now you can see I provided max new tokens. It defines total number of max tokens it will produce. So that I provided as 1024. I'm just rerunning it. Now you can see the output generated. So you can see the conversation got increased, right? Yes, a big conversation you got. Now let's say I don't want a biggest conversation. I want very small conversation. I want only 100 max new tokens. Now let us see what we got. So we got let's reduce this number a bit more. You can see it was reduced, right? Yeah. So let's increase it and see where our output, whether I'm getting a more response or not. Yes, we are getting more response. So like that, based on your requirement, you can choose how many tokens you want, those many, right? Yeah. You can even create a email. You can even generate a email. Generate a email for leave. Write an email, write or generate. Write an email for HR to apply leave. I'm just rerunning it. So let's see, do we got the response or not? You can see we got the response, right? The email got generated. So like this, you can able to generate the content, right? Yes. So we successfully generated the content. Now let's see the second task, that is summarizing content. Content summarization. So can I provide some content and I would like to summarize it. So does this AI can able to summarize it? The answer for this is yes. So now I'll paste some. Now I'm pasting some content here in inputs. And here at last you can observe one point, that is summarize the above article. So that's what I provided, and here I provided I got regarding SageMaker. Now I want to run this cell. So that's why I'm clicking on here. So I'm just running it again. You can see SageMaker is a cloud-based ML. You can see it is summarized, right? Yes. So it provides me summarized text as well. So content summarization also providing this. So whatever the model that we generated, that even summarizes me the content as well. So now let's move on to next. that is a generate code. So let's see whether this can able to generate me the code or not. I want a program for Fibonacci series. So write a program to generate Fibonacci series. So I have written this. Write a Python program. Let's specify the language as well. Now let's run this and see, do I got the response correctly or not? You can see we even got the response, right? Yes. So it even generated me the program. So can we say it generated the content? That is a email. It was generated me the email. It was generated me some funny conversation or some stories. It even generated me. We can even summarize the content, right? Yes, we did this and we generated the code for Fibonacci series. Now let's see sentimental analysis. So let's provide two inputs regarding what is a positive sentence, what is a neutral sentence. Now you can see I provided one negative sentence and one positive sentence and one neutral sentence as well. Then I provided one more line and I asked the sentiment. The first word you can see, I hate it when my phone battery dies. So that's negative. So that's why sentiment is negative. When my day has been +1, that means it's a positive sentence. This is a link to the article. Since it's a neutral sentence, it provides me sentiment as neutral. This new music video was incredible. That means wow. So let's see what type of sentence it is. We know it's obviously a good sentence. So let's see the response what it will provide to me. Yeah, currently it is running. So let's wait and see the response that it provides to me. Since we provided this 2 virtual CPUs and 4 GBs, it will take us some more time for analyzing it. You can see we got the response, right? That is positive. So that's why we got a positive as the output, right? Yes. So you can see we got the response as positive. So it is even analyzing the content and generating me the sentimental analysis as well. Now let's see what we learned and let's make it an end-to-end project. We have generated an AI application by using foundation models. You can see what foundation model we used. We used this Hugging Face LLM Falcon 7B Instruct BF16. Here almost 7 billion training data is used to train this model. So that's why here 7B is given. Then by using this model, we used this foundation model and we deployed that model and we even tested our model. Our model is working. So by deploying that model, we generated an application, right? Yes. So whenever you deployed, at the moment of time you deployed in SageMaker, if you open SageMaker, you can see I opened my SageMaker. In SageMaker, it creates you an endpoint during the starting time. That is during, so whenever we are starting our lab, at that time I have shown you in SageMaker endpoints, we did not have any endpoints. In SageMaker, you can see in SageMaker, in inference, in endpoints, we would not have endpoints at that moment. Currently, now 2 endpoints are there. Even here in endpoint configurations also, previously we did not have any endpoint configurations, but 2 are there now. So why so? Why 2 are generated? The answer for this is, since we created 2 foundational models during, we deployed 2 foundational models during our lab environment. You can see two were deployed here. So one model is for HF LLM Falcon 7B Instruct BF16. So that is the model that we have just seen. And this, that is HFLLM Falcon 7B BF16. This model we have previously, for the first time we deployed this, and this is the one we just deployed. So after watching this, we have deployed this and we have even tested this model whether it was providing me all the needs or not, right? Yes. So now I want to use this model. I want to use this model in my application. Now basically, if you see any AI platforms, how it will be, it simply has two, it simply has two boxes, one for providing the input and one for getting the response, right? Yes. So now I want to use the model that I have generated to get the response. So in AWS, I want to create the whole end-to-end project to make this Gen AI app as a web application. Whenever my user requests, then he can able to get the response from here. So that's what I want to do. That's what I want to implement. So for that, we need to create a HTML page, right? And we need to host that HTML page, right? Yes. So for that, we have cost effective way, that is S3 static hosting, S3 static website hosting. We develop a code and we can host that code in this S3 static website. I've already created that for you for this lab, and here I host my application, right? Yes. So then after, whenever user provided the question and he clicked on submit, he need to, that request need to interact with the SageMaker and get the response back, right? Yes. So in order to interact with this SageMaker and get the response back, so we need to provide some functions in between. That is, in order to provide a interface, in order to provide a API interface between our SageMaker and S3, now we are using API gateway. What is that? By using this API gateway, we have created an API. We have created an API request, and whenever user submits the question, that will first move on to this API gateway, will send that request to backend, that is this SageMaker. So whenever that request sent, so that this AWS SageMaker need to get the question that user provided, right? Yes. So how does this SageMaker will get the question that this user will provided? That the SageMaker will get by using a Lambda function. So by using Lambda function, it will get the exact content, that is exact question that user asked on your website. So this is the end-to-end project that we are deploying now. So for this, we have already created our GenAI application in our SageMaker to provide the response. That is to provide these types of responses. Now I want to set up these things. So for this, I've already created an S3 bucket, and there I have even provided one HTML file where that file contains my web page. So now I'm opening to show you that. You can see under my buckets, under generative AI lab bucket, I've created one index.html. I want to show you the content which is present in it. So that's why I'm querying with S3 select. Now I want to show you the whole content. So that's why I'm removing this. I'm just running this. Now you can see it was run successfully. Here you can see whatever the content that I have written, that is available here. So here you just focus on this, that is a title is there, that is introduction to GenAI. So this is just a style. You just need to focus on the code. Style is not needed to learn. Now here you can see introduction to GenAI. So this is the first heading you can see. Then after you can say a division tag where that will provide you an API gateway URL. That will ask you to provide API gateway URL. So whatever the API gateway that you created for interacting with your SageMaker, that you need to provide here. Then after, you also need to provide the prompt. You can see in the input box, you need to provide the prompt. Then you click on this generate function. So if you click on it, then it will generate the content and store in this text area. So whenever you click on generate, it will call this a call API function. Then this call API function will trigger this. Then after, you can see it will get the API gateway URL from the URL that you provided here. Then after, it also get the content, that is the question that you provided in the prompt box. So what are the content that you provided in the prompt box, that also get from here. Then it will fetch those both details and it will post the request. And in the post, it will provide the content as well as the max token of responses it need to get. So after posting, it will get the response back from API request. Then it will just print that content at the output. You can see if the data is there, then if the response is not okay, then it will provide you the HTTP error. Or else if the data is okay, then it will print that output in the output ID. Where that output ID is there? Here that ID is there. So here for this output, it will print the content in this text area. So for that, this is the HTML code that we have created. Then I want to show you that this HTML page from here. So whenever user click on submit, then the request goes to this API gateway. Whenever this API gateway is triggered, then this Lambda function is triggered. That I will show you right now. This Lambda function also I have created. Now I'm just opening that Lambda function to show you the code. You can see this is the Lambda function, that is a endpoint test function. So whenever your API gateway is triggered, whenever your API gateway is requested, then that will trigger this Lambda function. So whenever this Lambda function is triggered, here I have written some code. So to connect to SageMaker, I used the boto3.client library. Then boto3 library. Then I connected to SageMaker. So whenever I got a request in event, so in this event, I'm getting the body. Yeah. So here you can see we are invoking our SageMaker endpoint. We are invoking our SageMaker endpoint to get the response. You can see we are providing the content type as this, that is application/JSON, and body as cleaned body. In this cleaned body, I have provided event related body. In the event body, whatever the question that we provided, that will get here, and it will replace the new lines as well as the spaces. So those all will be replaced, and then that question will be provided, saved in this cleaned body variable that we are providing as invoking that we providing as body to this endpoint, that is SageMaker endpoint. Then it will provide me the response that we are storing in response. Then in response, we are reading the body and we simply providing the response back to the same API gateway. So here you can see we just returning the response in JSON format. Status code is 200 and these headers are allowed, and we provided the body as the JSON format of result. So whatever the result that we got, that we are providing as JSON format to back. And here you can see we need to provide one variable, that is this endpoint name. We need to provide this in a endpoint name in environmental variables for this Lambda. So for that, I'm opening the configurations. So here you can see the runtime is very less. So I want to provide this runtime as well. If you want to run your Lambda for more time, then you need to increase this time limit. I'm just providing 1 minute, 3 seconds, and I'm just saving this. Now I'm expecting to provide that environmental variable as well. So that is endpoint name. So what is the endpoint that we are providing to this? That is SageMaker endpoint, right? So that's why I'm opening the SageMaker and I want to copy the SageMaker endpoint. I just open my SageMaker. Now I'm just copying the endpoint. You can see we have two endpoints. I'm just copying one endpoint. Now I'm moving back to my Lambda function. Now I'm just pasting that endpoint here by clicking on edit. In environmental variables, I'm providing that. Now I'm just saving this. You can see it got saved, right? Yeah, so this got saved. Now I'm just moving back to code. So let's move back to our architecture. You can see we created our S3 bucket and we created our API gateway. We created our Lambda function. We created our backend. That is a GenAI application in SageMaker. So now what required is we just need to test. So in real time, this S3 won't provide us the response to all locations. That is to all regions or all availability zones. So what we did is we use CloudFront distribution. What is that? We use CloudFront distribution in order to distribute our content to customers, worldwide customers, and provide the response very faster with low latency. We use CloudFront distribution, right? Yes. So now I've already created this CloudFront distribution as well for our need. Now I want to show you that as well. I'm just opening CloudFront. So this, by using this URL, you can able to get the website directly. You can see we have a CloudFront distribution. Now I'm opening the distribution and I want to show you that S3 as my origin location. You can see origin location is S3. So in that, whatever the bucket that I have shown you, that is the origin domain. That is GenAI lab. So that's what I have shown you previously. Now I want to copy this distribution domain name. I just copied this. Now I want to open in a new tab and I want to paste that after HTTP request. I want to paste that and let us see. So this is not HTTPS. This is a HTTP request. I'm just pasting that and I'm searching that. You can see we got the page. We got the web page how we are expected. So this is the web page that I was just created previously for this lab. Now, so whenever I click on, now what I'm expecting is, you can see I want to provide this API gateway URL as well as some prompt. And I want to click on generate so that it needs to generate me some output. So what is the API gateway URL? So for that, we need to open the API gateway. I'm just opening that. So under that, so I'm opening the APIs. To copy the API gateway URL, I'm just opening the API gateway. You can see one API gateway is there. I'm just opened that. So for this, under stages, you open, you can see I have production stage. So in that, I have summarize. So in that, I have post stage. So since I am posting the question to this API gateway, I'm just copied this. Now I'm moving back to my website. So where is that? So this is that. Yeah. So now I want to provide this API gateway URL here. I want to provide me the question like mm, so I'm just providing like this Mahashiva and generate, and I just clicked on generate. You can see the response in output. It may take a few seconds to process and provide the response. You can see we got the response, right? Yeah. So Mahadev is a Hindu god who believed, yeah. So whatever the content that I expected, that we got, right? Yeah. So now our website got working successfully. Now I want to see what is Gen AI. So I'm just requesting for this question. So let's see, do we got the response? You can see Gen AI is a term which refer to the next generation of artificial intelligence, which is expected to surpass human intelligence in a future. It is a type of AI that is designed to learn and adopt changes in the environment and is often used in applications such as robots and autonomous vehicles. Right? Yeah. So whatever the request that I have provided for that, the content is generating. It is generating the content. Right? Yeah. So like this, we can even fulfill our needs, whatever the needs that we have seen previously, those all needs we can able to fulfill from this website. So wow, successfully you developed a website for GenAI. That means you developed your own chat GPT for you by using foundational models, right? Yeah. So you generated this website by your own by using foundational models. So this is how the simple to generate your own Gen AI application website for you in AWS. So this is all about this video. I want to show you how to create your own AI that I have shown you by using foundation models. I have shown you how to create and deploy your own Gen AI model. And after deployment, you got an endpoint. By using that endpoint, you can even provide the response to your websites as well. So to host my website, static website, I use it S3, and for content distribution over globally and provide the response with low latency, I used this cloud formation, and I used this API gateway to provide the request to Lambda function. So whenever a user requested for some content, then that will trigger, that will request this API gateway. Then this API gateway will trigger this Lambda function. So whenever it is triggered with some request, then it will process the content. It will send the request to SageMaker endpoint. Then that SageMaker endpoint will actually process that data content and provide the response back to this Lambda function. This Lambda function again provide the response back to this API gateway. Then it will send back to our website where user can able to see the output. So that's what we did in this video. So I hope you understood this end-to-end project and you get the good knowledge regarding Amazon SageMaker, how to generate your AI application by using GenAI, that is by using Amazon SageMaker. I hope you analyzed some options as well. I hope this video is useful and this end-to-end lab is useful to you. If you feel this video is useful, then please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Thanks for watching again. See you back in the next video with another interesting topic. Until then, bye bye.